Again, guys, welcome back again to Design Takeover. This is a fairly easy editing video because there's gonna be a blackout about 1 hour 30 minutes now. So I'm rushing this one. So it is the first time he's designing on UI, and it's the first time he's using Adobe XD. I think it is not the first time he does graphic design. I'm fairly certain about that, because this presentation of this UI is quite with experience. If you're new here to Design Takeover, we're gonna take your designs and literally revamp it, and I'm gonna show you a montage on how I do it, and I'm gonna give some feedback after that. So stay tuned, and a quick montage video. Let's go. So thank you for sticking around, guys. And you know what time is it? It is feedback time. So let's just start with this one. So we have here, I've seen this photo. I've taken it into unsplash.com. It's a photo of a forest, I think. So yeah, this photo, I've used it there. It's just a lucky find, but as you can see, I've added some things there, right? So I've added a thing that where he can go to a register and log in rather than showing this, and then some text there and some made up logo. And I've essentially also stick to your, what do you call this, stick to your typography, yeah, because I've used also this, have a script, then a sans serif font. That the text, you can see the text. You can see the forgot password. I think this forgot password is 6 pixels, if I'm correct. So you need to have your text not below, important ones, not below 14 or 12. Okay, as you can see here, it is 14 pixels, and here is 18 pixels. So keep in mind your text. So the minimum will be around 12. Okay, then in here, I've essentially taken this photo again and just overlay. So I've done this because you don't want to load again a photo, right? So I'm thinking on the loading time perspective of this UI. So it's a bit more advanced, but as you can see, it will, if you use this one, it will load another photo, right? So rather than doing that, is why not just pop out a text of login, right? If you get what I mean. So let me go back a bit and let's just jump to specific remarks. Okay. So number one would be your typography. So in here, you can see this, there's Trailblazer here as a logo. You need to sprinkle it around, right? So in here, I've sprinkled it. So here I used it like this one, here this, here, and here. So essentially use the text of the logo to sprinkle it all over so that it won't be alone. So it will be a part of the branding, right? Then I am I am trying to be consistent with that type. Okay, so in this login buttons, there are 18 pixels, and these logins are also 18 pixels, and this one is the same with this one, right? And these guys, 16 pixels are essentially the same. So here I have 14. So my lowest font is actually 12 here, right? So here is also 14. I'm trying to stay consistent with my fonts. If you have a font that you have been using, try to repeat that font, right? So you can only have 2 and just sprinkle it around. So you have plenty of choices for 2 fonts. So you don't need like 3 to 5 fonts. 2 fonts is a good start. And you do the variety by uppercase, lowercase stuff, and by the weight, the font weight. So the bold, the light. You can do the variety with that, with those options, okay? So next is the number 2. Number 1 is the typography. Number 2 is the, actually is also the hierarchy, okay? The hierarchy of things. So if you need to think about your experiences for previous applications and apply it to them. So I'm thinking here like Airbnbs, and actually I browsed Dribble and I really like this design by Anastasia. Here, like this one, I really like that design, so I've integrated that also here. So you need to find good references to essentially make good designs. That's what beginners and sometimes me ignore, because I think we have this kind of thinking that if you're designing, you need to be quote unquote original. But no, because if you have no reference, if you don't have a reference with language, on how to speak with others, essentially you don't learn how to speak. All of the things that you create with visual designs are derivative of what you have created and seen before. So it is what you've seen and what you created. Those things are very, very intertwined with visual design. Then I think actually of the things that that would be useful to users, like this one. I want to see my password there. Then on the next on these ones, as you can see here, I have my hierarchies. So what is the first thing I want to do when I'm going to a trail, right? I need to find trails. Then I need to some recommended trails. Then I need to know where is that trail, what elevation is that trail, those kind of stuffs. So essentially I've taken this one from Airbnb, like go straight to search, right? They're very unapologetic about their app designs because it has no this button, hamburger menu. They just go straight to search. And they have this recommended, and I'm gonna go next to explore. So contrast the design from you can actually see here that Airbnb has two columns. So in the explore part of Airbnb, it has actually two columns that the user can see. So I was thinking that I can make this into two columns so that the user can see more stuffs here on the explore part. But I think I thought otherwise because I want to contrast it with your design. But for me, I would prefer to see more trails. So we will have it on two columns. And these categories, I've sorted them out like this one. There. Essentially, if you click it, then it will go to the category here, the nearby categories. And if you click states, it will show up. It will show out a list of states like this one. It will show a list of states like that. So it will show a list of states, and this will be highlighted. Then if you tap this one, it will show all your favorites. If you tap this one, it will show a filter again. Just the suggestions. And these three guys, right? Okay, this one. So I've just stick to this. Fairly simple. This button is what I call the action button, the use always action button. So if you want to post something, if you want to post a video on TikTok, it is there. But in this thing, I think you don't have, or in finding trails, I think you don't have that button to tap every time you're finding trail, because it directs you it already directs you to the first thing that is most important to you, the explore part. You don't have to tap it. Like unlike in TikTok, you have to tap it, right? You have to tap to record a video. You have to tap to post a tweet. You have to tap to post a picture on Instagram, because the first thing when you log in, the user flow goes to your homepage. Essentially, you won't need this kind of thing if it's not an essential feature that you'll use always, because the essential feature of this one is the explore thing, and it is actually direct. So if you log in, you go to explore. So you don't. So I would defer on using this one on this kind of study. Oh, I've added this also. The heart thing, right? So essentially, all the things are here, and just added some recommended. I just added this one, the sorting. It's all there on your design, right? So in here, I've added also the stars. I've added you have the stars also. I just added the elevation and the location. Okay, the location of it. Where is it? It's Canada. Is it from Texas, etc., etc. And I've essentially, I'm thinking here, what are the important things that are essential for trails, right? Elevation, distance, etc. And here is the last one. I really want to see this thing on your designs, okay? Like, you want to make your user think that this is actually a functioning app. Essentially, you're taking your user to the booking experience. So here it stops. When you go here, it's only in the viewing experience. You want it to take the user from the first second, you log in, and then here, and then the booking experience. You don't have to do the checkout thing. So where did I get this info? I get it by using Google actually, and all trails. So here I get all this info, and there are interesting stuffs here. You can add in your design, right? Like weather, the reviews. The reviews are here actually. I just copy pasted it in the photos. Last part is actually the colors. Okay, it's always actually repeating. All of the new designs, new people in UI have all these problems, right? And I'm also encountering it, whether you're experienced or not. These are always the problems of them. Firstly is the typography. Secondly is the hierarchy, and then the third thing, the hierarchy and the thinking of where should the user go and what is important of this app. That's with the hierarchy. You can say it's your user experience, but whatever. And the third thing is the color, right? As much as possible, you need to have contrast with your color. So here, I've used the Facebook dark mode. Not familiar in designing dark mode. I can design dark mode, but I don't design dark mode that often. So here, I think you're going to be the dark mode. So I just copied the schemes here. I know for a fact that this one goes in there, that search color, and if it's highlighted, it goes there. And you can see on your designs that the colors are not yet there, because I think you haven't referenced this design. So rather than thinking about what are the colors, you need to just reference it and work it from there. So a thing you could do is like this one. So if I have a color like this, I think that's very good for me. And if you want to make it in a different color, be sure to stay on this line, okay? And then just move it like that. There. So it has the same temperature or the same chroma. So if you move like here, you can see it looks like very, very saturated. To expand further on your colors, you can see that this is lighter, right? As you can see, as I pick that color, I change it below to have a higher contrast, make it more readable. Okay, contrast is king in designs. The way you use contrast on visual designs is the way you move the user's eye. So keep that in mind. Like in this part, it is actually light than lightest. So it's better to have this one. The photo is lighter. Then I have this dark. Like this one on the photos, you can see that the photos are actually lighter, and I've actually edited them to match. But if you took the real photos of each one, you can see that it has a very, very light contrast. This one's very, very light. This one's very, very light. There are the real photos like this on real life, because this is just heavy editing, right? Then here also I've edited this photo. So all of these stuffs are like the ideal scenario. But if it's not ideal, actually, this thing will be solid. Thing will actually be solid color. So this light, make it darker, and this stuff you can make it like, right? Then also in this thing, as you can see in this one, the hearts it's actually not showing properly, right? So what you have to do is add shadows on it, because on this thing, if it is placed on the sky, it will actually be not visible enough for the user to know. So work on your colors. Contrast is king, and if you're going with the dark mode, have a reference on it. So don't put white on whites. Okay, you should have dark, black, white, black, white things, so the people can read and understand what is it that you put it in here. Okay, so I think that's it. So those are just the main things, right? Typography. You need to actually learn type. I think I need to have a lesson on typography to elaborate on this one. And then you need to keep your fonts consistent. You don't need to have many fonts. You can have variety by using font weight. Then number 2 is the hierarchy. You need to keep in mind what is the first thing that the user sees, what are the important parts that you want to see for the user, and essentially being the user. And next is the colors. You need to keep your colors straight. You need to remember that contrast is king, and if you need to show the user what is important, by contrast, you don't want to have all your whites lump up together and all your darks lump up together. It works on paintings, but in visual designs, it is very hard to see. This is the good starting point, and I hope you continue doing your UI designs, and stay tuned for other stuffs here where I review UI and art and sometimes gaming. Take care, guys, and have a good one.